सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमां अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यानस्मद्गुरुं सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि यत्साक्षात् सच्चिदानन्दं प्रत्यगद्योमप्रियं तन्नमामि शेषयोगिनं परमपदम् खानिलाग्निचरित्रं श्रवणीयोदित्यः ध्वान्तच्छिदे नमस्तस्मै हरये भूतिसम्भ्रमे। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। So, still working. We're looking at the second chapter introduction where Ityadi Prayoga Drashtavya. So we're looking at the Shabda as the only pramana, and other pramanas won't work in the case of Atma. So to this we look at the Mula. Pratyakshadinam anaivam vishayatvat. Pratyakshadi are not evam vishaya, mean not Atma vishaya. Tesham swarambhaka vishayupanipatitvat. Because they can only objectify those vishayas which have created them. Those vishayas in the sense, those vishayas, mahabhutas, whose gunas can be objectified by them, because the guni bhautika has created those indriyas. And Atma, on the other hand, is Ashesha Prameya Vailakshanyat. It is not any of the objectifiable Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasadi Gandhas. And then Sarva Anartaka Anartha Eka Hetu is Ajnana, and Tasya Apanodi is Jnana, Jnana Divakara. Its Udaya Hetu is Vastumatra Yathatme Prakashana Patiha Tattvamasyaadi Vachasa. Adehe Vachasa Eva iti Bhavibhihi Upapattivi Pradarshitam. It has been established. But here now in the Tika we are seeing as what is this Swa Arambhaka Vishaya Upanipatitvam. To that some tarka was used, and we looked at why Indriya. Some example is given as to Shrotra Indriya is Grahya Jatiya Vishesha Gunavat Dravya Arabdham. Why? Because Bahya Indriyatvat Chakshuradivat. Just like Chakshuradi Indriyas are Bahya Indriyas, Chakshuradi are Bahya Indriya. Therefore, Shrotra is also being Bahya Indriya. It is also what? Bhautika first, and then second Sadhya given is Grahya Jatiya Vishesha Gunavat Dravya Arabdham. It is also created by that Dravya which has Vishesha Guna, which is Grahya Jatiya, similar to something which is objectifiable. Similarly, what? Tatha Chakshu. Chakshu also, Chakshur Indriya is what? Taijasa. Why is it Taijasa? Taijasa means Teja Karya. Teja Mahabhuta Karya. Why? Rasa Agrahakatve Sati Rupa Grahakatvat Pradipavat. Just like lamp. Lamp is also what? It is Taijasa. Why? Because it is Rupa Grahaka. It helps, it is that which will grasp the Rupa. So the outline of the Rupa can be seen here as outline also, but generally Rupa means color here. So Taijasa Chakshu also has to be Taijasa only. It is Teja Agni Bhuta Karya. Why? Because it does not grasp Rasa like Pradipa, but Rasa Agrahakatve Sati Rupa Grahakatvat. It grasps Rupa also. We saw this. Why? Because there is some Ativyapti dosha in Atma, Mana, Sanyoga ityadi. So therefore, Rasa Agrahakatve Sati. The third, a little complex there is Rasanam Apyam. If you understand Chakshu Taijasam, there is no issue here. Rasanam Apyam. Rupa Agrahakatve Sati Rasa Abhivyanjaka Dravyatvad Asya Udakavat. इत्यादि प्रयोग द्रष्टव्य. So here rupa agrahakatve sati, just like chakshu does not grasp rasa but grasps rupa, similarly what rasana indriya is also apya apkarya, meaning jala mahabhuta karya. Why? Because it, while it does not objectify rupa, it manifests the rasa. It is rasa abhivyanjaka dravyatvat. Like what? Asya udakavat. Like the asya is in the mouth. Mouth, the udaka water, meaning what? Saliva. Just like saliva helps you manifest taste, rasa abhivanjaka dravya, because it is rasa abhivanjaka dravya, just like some substance which helps you manifest rasa. So that which helps you manifest rasa has to be jala karya, like saliva. Similarly is the case of this rasana indriya which helps you get taste. इत्यादि प्रयोग द्रष्टव्य. इत्यादि प्रयोग 3, there is a tippana. What is it? यथा सर्वासाम अपाम समुद्र एक एव अयनम. Okay, so in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad there is a mantra. So some tarka is used by in Upanishad mantra itself, Upapatti Pramana. So yatha sarvasam apam samudra eka ayanam evam sarvesham sparshanam twag eka ayanam. So there is some karya-karana prakriya similar to that. There is one prakriya used in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Say just like all water, every bit of water that that rains, that's where the source is. So the every bit of water will flow towards what? Samudra. So Samudra is the only ashraya for all water really. It comes from that, goes back to Samudra. Evam sarvesham sparshanam twag eka ayanam. So similarly, what, using this example, it is said that similar is the case of all sparshas. All sparshas also go to twak. Twak is basically what? Twag eva ayanam. Twak meaning the indriya here, and then all these sparshas, twag eva ayanam, meaning they can be objectified only by twag indriya. And there is a sambandha, karya-karana bhava in them also, because sparshas have created twagindriya. They have come from that, they go back to that. Evam sarvesham rasanam jivha ekayanam. So similarly, what rasa, all the rasas, the ayana is what? Is the refuge is what? It is jivha. Jivha means the rasanindriya there. Again, rasanindriya, and then by lakshana, everything has to be, whatever you see, if the meaning, literal meaning does not make sense, there will be lakshana. So Brihadaranyaka deals with all the mahabhutas being the, the resolution ground for all the bhautikas. So this is how it is understood. Evam sarvesham gandhanam nasika ekayanam, evam sarvesham shabdanam shrotam ekayanam iti shrutirapi. So finally what? Shruti also says what? Shrutihi api shrotradinam bhautikatve pramanam. Our focus area is that. So Shrotradi Indriyas are Bhautika. They are Bhutakarya. All Indriyas are Bhutakarya. Therefore, they can grasp only Bhuta Gunas, whereas Atma is not Bhutakarya. It is not Mahabhuta also. It is not Guni. It does not have any Guna. The lesser the number of Gunas, the subtler the object. So Prithvi is the grossest because it has 5 Gunas. Similarly, what if you go one less to each of its karanas and finally land in Akasha, Akasha has 1 guna, Akashasya Shabda. So therefore, Akasha is very subtle, very difficult to objectify, very difficult to understand also. What is Akasha? Now, Nirguna Brahma Atma, which has no gunas, how can you objectify that? It is the subtlest of all, subtler even than Akasha. So Indriyas cannot objectify Atma, and Antakarana also being Bhutakarya cannot objectify. Therefore, Shruti says what? Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasa ityadi. It cannot become an object. Atma, which is ever the subject, as long as there is any object, that Atma can never become subject, can never become object. It is not even subject really, but compared to when there is an object assumed to be there, then the Atma is said to be subject. Sakshi only when there is Sakshya. Atma is not even Sakshi really. The word Sakshi also is not doing justice to Atma, because Atma is not Sakshi, but when there is Sakshya, then is it Sakshya? No, it is not Sakshya. To say that, Sakshi word is used. Otherwise, Neti Neti. Na Sakshya, na Sakshi. This is the Prakriya. Across Upanishads, all Prakriyas finally lead to this understanding that Atma is not an object at all. So Drashtavya, what Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 2.4.11, Vishyasyeva Swatmagrahakattvena Samsthananantaram Karanam Nama. So Bhashya, there is some Bhashya there. We'll not go into this anyway. Our focus area is what? Shrotra, they are Bhautika. They are Bhautika. So Mula in the Tika, Ityadi Prayoga Drashtavya. So use whichever Tarka. Tarka serves only that basis. What is the basis? If any Tarka lands you on the understanding that Indriyas are Bhautika, Atma is not Bhuta Bhautika, therefore Atma can never become an object of Indriyas, we are done. That Tarka has served its purpose. Further, what Atma in Tika? Atma, yeah, here, just a second. Ityadi Prayoga Drashtavya, there is nothing, okay, nothing in the Mula. Okay, so Atma Punaha. On the other hand, Atma, Shabdadi Shunyatvat, Sarva Vishayitvat, Na Tesham Vishayityaha. Atmanascheti. So Atma is what? On the other hand, compared to what Indriyas which are Bhautikas, they can objectify Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. Why? Because Bhautikatvat. They are Bhautika. That is not the Hetu which has used in the Tarka that we saw. In the Tarka, what was established as Indriyas are Bhautika. In the Mula, what is being said? Atma is not Pratyakshadi Gochara. Meaning Pratyakshadi Nam Aneva Vishaya. So if the Aneva Vishaya means not Atma, Atma is not the Vishaya of Pratyakshadi. Now Pratyakshadi cannot have Atma as Vishaya, then what are the Vishayas? For that, Tarka was used to say that only Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasadi Gandhas are the objects. They are Bhautika. It has been proven that Indriyas are Bhautika. Atma is not Bhautika. So here in the Tika, it was established that they are Indriyas can grasp only Bhautika because they themselves are Bhautika. They can grasp Bhuta Gunas. So Atma Punaha Shabdadi Shunyatvat, whereas Atma does not have Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha, any of these. Therefore, that's one Hetu. Further, what? Sarva Vishayitvat. Atma is not a Vishaya. Atma is Vishayi. Atma is Vishayi for every Vishaya. In fact, Kena Upanishad says what? Shrotra becomes Shrotra and objectifies Shabda also because of Atma. Shrotrasya Shrotram, Manaso Mano Yato Ityadi. Shruti keeps on saying Chakshushas Chakshuhu. So Shashti is used. Shashti and Prathama, when are used together, there it is Abhede. Chakshu becomes Chakshu due to which? So basically it is all what? Chakshu is Atma, Atma is not Chakshu. Chakshu works because of Atma. Atma Satta only is Chakshu Satta. There is no other Satta that Chakshu has. Chakshuradi Indriya, Shrotradi Indriyas, they work only because Atma gives them existence also. They come into play and do what they do only because of Atma backing. Chaitanya Rupa Atma backing. So here, Atma does not have Shabdadi. So Shrotrendriya can grasp only Shabda. Atma is not Shabda. Atma does not have Shabda. Atma is not Shabda and Atma does not have Shabda. Therefore, Atma cannot be objectified by Shrotrendriya. Similarly, what Atma is not Rupa, does not have Rupa. Therefore, Chakshurindriya cannot objectify Atma and so on. You can extend it to others. Sarva Vishayi, Atma is not Vishaya but Vishayi. Vishayi is a subject. Atma is subject, never an object, which objectifies anything and everything but not itself. Nobody can objectify it. So, Sarva Vishayitva cha, second hetu, na tesham Vishaya, tesham kesham indriyanam. Tesham indriyanam pratyakshadinam adipadena anuman also, because pratyaksha is the basis for anumana to work. Therefore, tesham Vishaya na. Yes, Amma.
May I ask a Pratipaksha question?
Yeah.
That when we say Shabda is the only Pramanam, but Shabda, when it comes out, it touches like the Indriyas. So then Shabda also touches the Indriyas. So without the Indriyas, no Shabda will come out. Or we cannot even hear, because our Shrotriya is also Bhautika. So how do you explain that? Why is that Shabda is a Pramanam?
See, you have to differentiate between Pratyaksha and Shabda Pramana. I had explained this in the first chapter. There was in the context of the question made by Purva Pakshi. Purva Pakshi had said that your Jnana Vritti, which comes from Shabda Pramana, that Jnana Vritti is the only one that takes away Ajnana. It has Virodha, that is what you had said. This was the context. I'm just explaining the context first. Purva Pakshi was told that karma cannot take away Ajnana. Why? Because karma is Ajnana Karya. Therefore, there is no Virodha. To this, Purva Pakshi had said, so is your Jnana. Vrityatmaka Jnana is also what? It is in Antakarana. It's similar question to what you are asking. Indriyas, through Indriyas only Shabda is manifest. It is heard through Shrotrendriya. It is spoken to through Vagindriya. Then how can that work when you say that Indriyas are Bhautikas and Atma is not Vishaya? So there also he had said, your Antakarana Vritti, Jnana is also Antakarana Vritti, Brahmakara Vritti. Therefore, Antakarana being Ajnana Karya, Antakarana Vritti, which is Parinama of Antakarana, is also Ajnana Karya. How is it that Karma being Ajnana Karya has no Virodha with Ajnana and therefore it cannot take Ajnana, but you make a claim that Jnana, although it is Ajnana Karya, can take away Ajnana? How can there be Virodha in your case and your Darshana works and my Darshana does not work? Said the Purva Mimamsaka. To this, Siddhanti had answered, yes, Ajnana Karya is Antakarana and Antakarana Vritti also, but Karma has dependency all the way till Phala also. To give the Phala also, there is a dependency to come up also. Karma comes up due to Ajnana. To sustain during the karma also you have karaka dependency. To give phala also, to give adrushta also, adrushta has to be in antakarana, that also is ajnana karya. And to take you till swarga also, that swarga, everything is ajnana karya. The entire chain from start to end is ajnana karya. Whereas in jnana, only for jnana to come up there is dependency on ajnana. Because antakarana depends. After that, there is no necessity there. So Virodha is in that jnana swarupa, how it is, the very task of jnana is to take away ajnana. Just because it has come up in antakarana, to sustain, you don't need anything. There is no sustenance needed also. It will go off by doing its task. Once it has come up, there is no dependency. Why? Because Ajnana tells you are karta. To do karma, you need to be karta. To have your indriyas, you need to be karta. For everything, you need to be karta. And then phala also, you are bhokta. Till the end also, you are bhokta. So the dependency is on ajnana, because to be bhokta also ajnana is needed. What jnana does, the jnana, you have to look at what jnana comes up. In the antakarana, ghatakara vritti which comes up has dependency on to reveal ghata. There, that ghata is ajnana karya. Therefore, there is all, the way it works has no dependency, but it is just strengthening your ajnana karya only, that this is ghata. That much we may agree. But when jnana, which is brahmakara vritti, which says you are not karta, there, that jnana, although it came up with in antakarana, but it says you are not having antakarana. The swarupa is you are not antakarana, not karta, not bhokta. So that ajnana which tells you are karta and jnana which says you are akarta, there is an opposition. Therefore, there is no dependence in ajnana, because the jnana swarupa, what is the akar of jnana? You are not karta, you are not bhokta, you are brahma. So meaning what? You are brahma means you are not karta, bhokta, you are not an individual, you are not apurna. All of these, na, na, na. So that na is countering. So with that basis, there I had mentioned, the Dvaitis also bring this akshepa, that there is dependence in ajnana. That's what, if you say it is, there is no dependence in ajnana, but there is dependence in indriyas. Same thing. Indriyas, there may be dependence in indriyas for the shabda to be uttered and to be heard, but pratyaksha and shabda pramana are two different pramanas. Their shabda is not pratyaksha pramana. Shabda pramana is different. Shabda pramana is not part of pratyaksha pramana. It takes a long time to understand this. Shabda, when you say shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandha, for this indriyas are needed. The shrotrendriya and which helps you hear shabda, that is not shabda pramana. That is pratyaksha pramana. It helps you. What helps you utter is karmendriya, vagendriya. What helps you taste, the same in jivha has second indriya also. It has two indriyas. One vagendriya, jivha has, and other is rasanendriya. It helps you taste. One is jnanendriya. Rasanendriya is jnanendriya. Vagendriya is karmendriya. It helps you speak. So when you say to hear the word vakya, tattvamasya adi mahavakya, also there is dependency on indriyas, yes. Shrotrendriya is needed, Vagendriya is needed for the guru to utter, for Shishya, Shrotrendriya is needed to hear. But what does that help you hear? What does that help you speak? Whatever. It helps you speak, whatever. It is only, there is no word necessarily, any shabda. Even the even a bird cuckoo, let's say, it makes a cuckoo sound, that also needs vagendriya also. It also has vagendriya. The other birds here, they also have shrotrendriya, but they may have their own language also. We don't know. But for human beings, it is not clear unless you have siddhis, of course. We are not talking about that. We call that shabda, Vyakarana calls that shabda as what? It will be um, just shabda. It is called shabda, has two categories there. Vyaktayam vachi or avyaktayam vachi. So vyakta shabda, avyakta shabda. That cuckoo of a bird makes no sense to us. It may be melodious to hear. The cawing of a crow may not be melodious. For some, that also may be melodious. But it is aspashta. Therefore, it is avyakta. But vyakta shabda is meaningful. So there can be meaningless utterance also, meaningful utterance also. But shabda is actually vakya. Shabda pramana, when you say, it is vakya bodha. For that, there is no dependence in indriya. Like the Dashamastomasi. When in that story of 10th man being lost and someone passerby says that you are the 10th, you forgot to count yourself. When he counts 9, 1 to 9, and then he says, you are the 10th. That time you are the 10th. To utter, Indriyas are needed. To hear, the Indriyas are needed. But after that, there is no use of the Indriya. The Antakkara, it has done its role. It will take away the Ajnana that you are the 10th. That is Shabda Pramana. So just because it has dependency does not mean that dependency is all the way. We have to differentiate that. The differentiation is in listening the word and understanding Vakya. There are huge difference. There may be Spashta words also. Somebody is speaking German. I don't understand German. It will make no sense to me. So had it been Pratyaksha Pramana, then just because Vagendriya has said and just because my Shrotrendriya has heard, I should understand the meaning. But meaning makes the difference. Meaning makes the difference. The Shabda Pramana works in such a manner that you get the Vakyartha Bodha. Shabda, that is called as Shabda Bodha. That the way that works, it definitely has dependency on, but that does not mean that till the end there is dependency. So
thank
here
you.
we are
Thank you.
pointing out that it is not a direct Vishya. In the Vakya Pramana also it is not direct Vishya. Lakshana has to be done. Atma is never the Vachyartha of any Shabda, including the word Atma. Brahma is not the Vachyartha of any word, including the word Brahma also. Lakshana has to be done. Only with Lakshana you will get the Mahavakya Artha. So here, because Lakshana is done, that Lakshana, Vachyartha and Lakshyartha both are the Vakyartha only. But the way they work is different from the Pratyaksha Pramana. Clear? It's an important question. It's a good question. And it takes time to understand this. Because Dvaitis will make this Akshepa. They say that Pratyaksha is the superior Pramana. Even Shabda Pramana does not work. Their entire Astikatva falls apart. Because how Shabda works, they have lost it. To counter an Advaiti with so much of Dvesha, they have reduced Veda to Pratyaksha, or even taking Adhar of Pratyaksha. Anyway, so that is the difference there between Pratyaksha and Shabda Pramana.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So here, so पुनः शब्दादि शून्यता सर्व विषयत्वाच्च न तेषां विषया इत्याह इंद्रियाणां विषया आत्मा नास्ति. We will even say, even Shabda Pramana Vachyartha, it is not. That much we will say. Because no Pramana will directly show you Atma. It will only take away misunderstandings, because Ajnana Nashya is the only Karya of Jnana. Any Jnana, Ghata Jnana, Pata Jnana, Atma Jnana, also Brahma Jnana. It can only take away Ajnana. It is not going to tell you, it cannot create anything. It cannot, as we saw this Prapya, Apya, Samskarya, all, none of these Utpadya it cannot do. It can only reveal a Siddha Vastu. And how? Reveal also what? That reveal word is also incorrect. Why? Revelation is what? That revelation is taking away misunderstandings, Ajnana. That is the revelation. What it is, it reveals on its own. So that is the idea here. Thereby Atmanaschaiti. And we saw this Atmanascha Shesha Prameya Vailakshanyat ityadi. Tika further Katham tarhi tad ajnana nivrittihi ityataha sarve iti. Says, okay, if you say Atma is what? Ashesha Prameya Vailakshanya. Meaning it is not something knowable. That's what you have said. Prameya is what? Knowable. Ashesha Prameya is every knowable. And Vilakshana means what? Different from that. Meaning it is Atma is other than, different from every knowable entity. If that is the statement, then Katham Tarihi Tad Ajnana Nivritti. How will Tad Ajnana? Atma Ajnana. Atma Ajnana, how will it go away in that case? If you are saying Atma is different from anything knowable, means Atma is not knowable, then Atma Ajnana will never go. How will it go then? To this, Siddhanti says, Sarva Anartha Eka Hetu Ajnana Apanodi Jnana Divakara Udaya Hetutva Vastu Matrayathatmya Prakashana Patiyasaha Tattvamasyadehe Vachasa Eva iti. Tattvamasyaadi Vakya alone can make it known. So we have seen this in the last patha. And it has been shown with many reasonings. This is what said the Siddhanti. Tika further, evam prathama adhyayena. So first chapter dealt with all of these, and Purva Mimamsa was told that karma cannot give moksha, only jnana can give moksha. Now, what is the scope of the second chapter? Now, evam prathama adhyasena samanvaya pradarshite. What is the samanvaya here? Samanvaya is jnana alone can give moksha. Nothing other than jnana can give moksha. Ajnana nivritti is the karya of jnana, which karma ityadi cannot do, pratyakshadi cannot do. Therefore, jnana alone can give moksha, because the samsarana is bhranti, and being bhranti, bhranti is due to ajnana, and ajnana nasha can take place only by jnana. Therefore, jnana alone is samsara nivritti moksha karana. एवं प्रथमाध्यासेन एवं प्रथमाध्यायेन समन्वये प्रदर्शिते सति तत्र प्रत्यक्षादि विरोध आशंकायां तत्परिहाराय द्वितीयः अध्यायः आरभ्यते इति आह अत इति. So now Siddhanti, having said that Advaita is the truth, because jnana is about not about samsara, samsara nivritti, therefore samsara is bheda, bheda nivritti is with abheda jnana, so dvaita nivritti is by advaita, advaita samanvaya was done, advaita jnana, eka atma ityadi has been mentioned, meaning you are not a samsari, you are Brahma. This jnana is establishing, as per the claim of the Siddhanti, Advitiya Atma. There is no second Atma. There is no second Anatma also. There is no real samsara. There is no real other. So no Brahma, second Brahma, no second or first Abrahma also. There is no Brahma, other Brahma, there is no Abrahma. So all this meaning what? There is no Anatma, meaning there is no samsara. There is no Jagat. That's what it will mean. There is no Bheda. To this, Purva Pakshi says Pratyakshadi are establishing Bheda. So there is Virodha of Pratyakshadi Pramana with your Shabda Pramana. Pratyakshadi Virodha Ashankayam Satyam. Now Purva Pakshi can say Pratyaksha shows this, and Shabda Pramana you say it shows Advaita. So you may be wrong, because he will not say Vedas are wrong. He may say that the Vedas mean something else. You have misinterpreted it to mean Advitiya Atma. That's the only way you can resolve contradiction between Pramanas. So if Pratyaksha, Anumana, Ityadi are showing Bheda and you are showing Abheda with Shabda Pramana, there are two Pramanas regarding Jagat, Atma, Ityadi. Now, if there is contradiction, then you have to resolve by saying which Pramana is right. And Pratyaksha cannot be wrong as per him. He says Pratyaksha, everybody is Anubhava, how can you say it is wrong? Therefore, with the Virodha of Pratyaksha, Anumana, etc., now you have to resolve this and establish as to your Samanvaya is not contradicted. There is no Virodha. You have to show that. So he says Pratyakshadi Virodha Ashankayam Tat Parihara. To remove that Virodha, doubt, even the doubt should not remain. Thereby, this is the reason for the second Adhyaya. Dvitiya Adhyaya Arabhyate Ityataha Ityaha Atha Iti. In the Mula Ataha Ataha Tadartha Apratipatto Tadartha Apratipatto Yat Karanam Tad Apanayanaaya Dvitiya Adhyaya Arabhyate. So here Tad Apratipatto Ataha Tad Artha Apratipatto. Here what was shown is that Tattvasyadi Vakya Eva is the reason for Jnana Divakara Udaya, which takes away Sarva Anartha Ekahetu Ajnana. Now this Tattvasyadi Vakya should be understood. If it is not understood, then what is the reason for it not being understood? All these questions have to be dealt with. Now. So he says, Atah tadartha is this Mahavakya, Tattvamasyadi Mahavakya Artha Apratipattau. Pratipatti is jnana, understanding. Apratipatti is non-understanding. So, towards non-understanding of Tattvamasyadi Mahavakya, Yat Karanam, whatever is the cause, Tad Apanayanaya, that Karana has to be taken away. What is it that, you ask, some as a teacher's role, you're teaching someone and somebody does not understand. You ask, what is the problem? Where is the issue? You have to resolve the reason why the person is not understanding. You can't just keep on repeating that. If there is a question with the buddhi, with some basis, that question has to be resolved with an answer targeted towards such causes which don't help understand that person understand. So you have to do the root cause analysis. What is the, because everyone will not have the same doubt. Somebody may understand one aspect, the other may understand the another aspect. So which aspect is lost upon anyone, that has to be dealt with. So tad apanayana dvitiya adhya arabhyate. So this will deal with all sorts of reasons which do not allow understanding to take place, jnana udaya to happen even after hearing Mahavakya. If Mahavakya, it is said that you are Brahma. What is there to not understand in this? This is the perspective. Shruti is thinking, it's a simple statement of fact. You are Brahma. What is the reason there to not understand? Now, there is a huge reason now. You can say it's a simple statement, but it is not so simple because Tat means Ishvara and you means this Jiva. So there is a huge difference. So in Hindi se Zameen Asman ka farak hai. So in that, how can you say Samanadhikar? So there is a big question. There is only one question. How? How? That's all the question is. How? It isn't, because if it is said you are Brahma, how is it possible? It is like going to some, a peasant and saying that you are the king. He'll say, what are you talking about? So even that may be possible, but how is this possible? So there's a big, big bold 72 font kind red. How? That's the question. That's all. So tada apanayana, to remove that how, dvitiya adhyaya. Manana aspect there. So tika there. तस्य तद अर्थ अप्रतिपत्तौ तस्य वाक्यस्य अर्थ अप्रतिपत्तौ यत् कारणम towards the misunderstanding also of that vakya, mahavakya. What is the karana, yat karanam? What is that karana? Simple. Padartha aparijnanam. Tasya pratyakshadi विरोध शंका संभूत असंभावना विपरीत भावना निरासेन अपनयनाय अध्याय आरंभ इत्यर्थ. So what is the reason that somebody says that how? Why will he say how? So the reason is what? There is a misunderstanding of padarthas. See, asi there is no problem. Meaning just the word asi, lat lakar, there is no problem. Tat word, there is no problem. Tvam, there is no problem. So where is the problem? The meaning of tat, the meaning of tvam. Asi, someone else may misunderstand because tat and tvam meanings don't go together. Tat is somewhere else. Huge difference. Right? There's a huge difference between tat and tvam. Tvam is right here and now. Tat is, not paroksha, not pratyaksha. Ishvara is not pratyaksha. Tvam aham is pratyaksha to me. I know what I am. You are saying you are Ishvara. I don't know Ishvara. I have never seen Ishvara. I have heard about Ishvara here and there. I have to live with myself every day in, day out. What do you know? So I am this kind of a person. Puja Swamiji's word, chota admi. So I am chota admi. So very limited being, samsari, and you are talking about who watches each and every act even when I am sleeping. That Sakshi, Sarvadhi Buddhigata Sakshi, he knows everything, even if I think he knows everything even before I do it. He is karma phala data. He knows all my karmas. I don't know what I ate this morning, yesterday morning. Today it's still morning. So yesterday what I ate, I don't remember. He knows everything. That kind of karma phala data I am. How can it be? So that is the big how. To this, in fact, Puja Swami had a question here. He had suggested, I remember in the open class, he had said somebody should do PhD on Naishkarmyasiddhi. I may have mentioned this in the first part or somewhere around there. He said somebody should do PhD on Naishkarmyasiddhi as to why Ishvara is missing here. There is no Ishvara in this book. And Puja Swamiji used to say, bring Ishvara in your life. Puja Swamiji in his initial days, he also used to teach with a lot of non-Ishvara also. Then he looked at his crowd. He catered to a huge range of audience. So, not everyone has a cultural background. In fact, Indians also, let alone non-Indians, they have no cultural background of Ishvara in their life. Their definition of God is different. Their understanding of God is way off than what Vedic Shastra says. Even in Indians, there are a lot of misunderstanding. So he said that karma yoga is needed. They don't have this varnashrama dharma. Even here, a lot of people have lost varnashrama dharma. So chitta shuddhi is not possible without karma yoga, and without Ishvara's understanding, even that is not possible. So he said he toned down his narrative with bringing Ishvara in her life, and so that everyone is helped out, so that they can grow further and come closer to jnana. If not now, some other time, but they should get streamlined with the karma yoga aspect to get chitta shuddhi, and then thereby understand who is that Ishvara, what is that Vedanta, the way Vedanta reveals Ishvara, who is that Ishvara, unlike others who reveal God. So, therefore, he said that in Naishkarmyasiddhi, there is no Ishvara, somebody should find out why. Bhagwan Sureshwaracharya answers that question in this very opening of this chapter. He says, when Tattvamasi Mahavakya has been mentioned, uttered, you heard that. You know Sanskrit enough, you know Latlakara Asi, Madhyama Purusha Ekvachana, Tat you know is Ishvara, and Tvam is you. Where can be the problem? With Asi, you cannot have any problem because it just says you are. That's all it is saying. There can be no problem with understanding in language you are. When it is said Tat also, factually what Tat, where does Tat come from? For you to have misunderstanding of Tat, Shastra can never solve it if Shastra is the only source for Tat. Tat is Ishvara, as revealed by the Shruti. So when Tattvamasi Mahavakya is uttered, in which context it came up, that Tat will, the pronoun will hold that meaning. The noun there is what? The noun you trace back, it is that Sat Brahma, which created the Prapancha. So it is Ishvara clearly. The word Ishvara is not used there also. Bhagavan Bhashyakara will explain Paramatma ityadi. But Brahma, he uses Brahma word. Even he may not say, Ishvara ityadi. Fact is that it is Jagat Karana Brahma. You call it Ishvara, you call it Paramatma, you call it God, you call whatever, but the definition is that Tattva which created Prapancha is the meaning of Tat. So in that context, Tat meaning cannot be lost. Tat meaning cannot be lost. That is what the Shastra reveals. You misunderstand, Shastra cannot help you. How can Shastra help you if the story is being mentioned and it says that this word, Tat, Ishvara or Sad Brahma, from which the entire Prapancha came up. That is the only story there. There is absolutely nothing else. It cannot be misunderstood. Tat is as it comes up in each and every section whenever the word is used. Pronoun you cannot misunderstand the pronoun because it is the same noun which has gone by. And Bhagavan Bhashyakara keeps on saying this is same Brahma, same Brahma, same Brahma, same Devata which became in Mahabhuta. Again, an entire chain he'll explain. So Tat cannot be misunderstood, Asi cannot be misunderstood. What can be misunderstood? Tvam. Tvam is not explained there. Tvam need not be explained. Tvam is you. And the father is talking to the son, the Acharya Guru father is talking to the son Shishya, Shvetaketu. He said you. You is Shvetaketu there. There can be. Now Shvetaketu, does Shvetaketu consider himself when he is told Tvam, Tattvamasi Tvam, does he consider that Tvam as the Sharira? Does he consider it as the Stula Sharira, Panchakosha, in that which Kosha, which Sharira? There can be so many levels where what that Tvam can mean. That is where the confusion is. So why does Naishkarmyasiddhi Sureshwaracharya does not deal with Tvam Padartha at all? He deals primarily, we may have mentioned in passing, but why there is no Ishvara? Because Tvam Pada is the most difficult to understand. Tvam Pada is where confusion is possible. Confusion is not possible in Asi. Only when, why is Asi difficult to understand? Because Tvam is difficult. Because Tat is known. If Tat is also not, Tvam is also not known, then you will not understand anything. One who does not understand anything has no difficulty. Ignorance is bliss for him. Buddhi Vedam Jane. The issue is Tat is known. See, why is the problem? If Tat also you have confusion as to, Tat can be me only because he's saying you are that. So he's just saying that if I have misunderstood myself and someone says you are that, that I'll reinterpret to mean me. So there is no issue with the Vakya at all. Where is the issue with the Vakya? Because Tat is already known as revealed in the Shastra. So Tat need not be talked about really. This is my perspective and this is what you see clearly. Tvam is the samsara karana, misunderstanding of Tvam. Atma is not understood. Ishvara is not understood, is not samsara karana. Nobody says that I have not understood Ishvara. Hey, first you understand yourself. You have so many things around you to understand how will you understand Ishvara? So when people say, I want to know Bhagavan, they assume that they are a particular entity. They already understand themselves as something else. So how do you understand Ishvara? I want to understand Ishvara as revealed in the Shastra. As and when one starts learning about Ishvara, that Ishvara is talked about Jagat Karana, in Upanishad at least. Upanishadam Purusham Prichami, there. Which Purusha there I am asking about? Not any Purusha that you think of some father in heaven, etc. Purusha is Upanishad Purusha. Not even Smarta Purusha, not in talked about as one who did Leela, not that Krishna as Jagat Karana. Bhagavan Gita Charya Krishna also teaches Jagat Karana Paramatma. So that Paramatma as revealed in the Shastra is known and I think that I cannot be that. Otherwise there is no issue. So Tvam is the most difficult. This is why Shastra focuses on Tvam. Second reason is, of course, it is a Prakarana Grantha. It need not focus on everything. It is focusing on the most difficult aspect. If there are issues with that, then we'll say, okay, Tatpada, we have to add from elsewhere. But here it is very clear, Tattvamasyadi Mahavakya has been mentioned. In that Tat is clear, Asi is clear as revealed by the Shastra. Now, because Tat there, Sankhyas may have an issue. Sankhyas may have an issue that Tat can be Pradhana, etc. But there that you are Pradhana is going to do nothing. If it so all this is dealt with in Brahma Sutra. If the Shruti tells you are Pradhana is Jada, it is not going to help you. How will it give you moksha? It has been said as moksha karaka. After that, nothing remains to be known. So there are so many reasonings given by Bhagavan Bhashyakara as to why Tat cannot be misunderstood why the way other Darshanikas do. But here the focus is not that. Here the focus is what Tattvamasi, why is it not working? When it has been told that Tattvamasi leads to moksha. You have heard Tattvamasi from the Guru. It is Aptavakya. Not only Aptavakya, Guru is Mukta. It is an assumption that in the Sampradaya that Guru is Mukta. So when he has uttered these words, you should be Mukta. Just like Dashamastomasi. Why did it not take place? Moksha did not happen. Why Jnanotpatti did not take place? Apratipatti karanam kim? Tad apanaya. That has to be inquired into and that has to be taken away. So here it will be clearly shown that Tvam is misunderstood there. Of course, Tat can be misunderstood. That will be dealt with. But Tvam is the most difficult here because there are many opinions about Tvam. As to Shunya Brahma, it is not there. Right from that kind of an understanding of Bauddhas to, growing in size, as Jainas say, to Karta Bhokta, to only Bhokta, or limited Sukshma, like the Sukshma Sharira, or Stula Sharira, like Charvaka say, Sharira is done, you are done. Only one life, Charvakas or the moderners. So many misunderstandings about what I am. Therefore, when I am told that you are Ishvara, one with Ishvara, I have difficulty. So here it is said, Tadapanayana, this Dvitiyadhya Arabhyate. Tasya vakyasya artha apratipattau yat karanam. Whatever is the basis, whatever is the reason for not understanding Mahavakya, when it has been clearly told to you that you are Brahma, Padartha Aparijnanam. What is that? Padartha Aparijnanam. All three words are to be known. Padartha, they are also primarily Tvam. So Padartha Aparijnanam. Tasya Pratyakshadi. Why? Pratyakshadi, see, it has been said Pratyakshadi Shanka Sambhuta. Pratyakshadi has been mentioned. Now, in this, Asi is not Pratyaksha being talked about. Tat is Tat Pratyaksha. Tat is not Pratyaksha. So, there in the Padartha Aparijnanam, also if you look at it, Tat Tvam Asi. Pratyakshadi Viroda. Can I say Pratyaksha Viroda? Ishvara I don't agree with as. Why? Because Pratyaksha Viroda is there. Pratyaksha Viroda is possible only if I have seen Ishvara as something other than as revealed by Shastra. I have never seen Ishvara. So there can be no Pratyaksha Viroda to Tat Padartha. Right? Adipadena Anumana Viroda can be there. But with Anumana also I'll say, see Pratyaksha, if the Shruti is saying Ishvara is Jagat Karana, and I say in Pratyaksha I have not seen Ishvara, then Anumana also I should not be able to use. But still Tarkikas use, Sankhyas also use. They say no, what way the Anumana we saw. Ishvara Brahma cannot be Jagat Karana because we have never seen, we have always seen smaller entities come together as Karana to make a bigger Karya. But Brahma is the biggest there is. So how can it, come together and make a Karya? So that can be an Akshepa based on Anumana. But primarily what? Pratyakshadi Viroda cannot be with Tat, cannot be with Asi. Where is the Viroda? Primary Viroda is Tvam. With Tvam. So here, that Pratyakshadi Viroda. With the Viroda, what? Viroda Shanka. Pratyakshadi Viroda Ashanka Sambhuta. Ashankaya Sambhuta. With the Ashanka, what comes up? Sambhuta what? Asambhavana. Impossible. Impossibility. When someone says, what is that? How? How question means what? Impossible. You are great. Someone tells you are great. No. How can I be great? So, he's saying you are the greatest. You are Brahma. So, this fellow says, Asam. Sambhuta. What is the Pratyakshadi Viroda bringing up? Impossible. Asambhavana. Cannot be. Impossible. What are you saying? Second is what? Viparita Bhavana. What is Viparita Bhavana? Although some kind of understanding is there, takes place, but still, earlier samskar Viparita Bhavana. No, I am a limited entity. Oh, I am Brahma. In the class, I am Brahma. You step out, as Swami Paramartha says, wear the chappals, Brahma. So in the class, Brahma, outside Brahma. So he says Viparita Bhavana comes up. No, no, no. I am a Purusha, I am a Brahmana, I am a Stri, I am Shudra, whatever. Nirasena, taking that away. So, pratyakshadi viroda ashanga sambhuta ya asambhavana, viparita bhavana ityadi, whatever you say, tasam nirasena. By countering those, then only apanayana, then only uprooting of all these, karana which does not help jnana to come up, tasya apanayanaya adhyaya arambha ityartha. Thereby this chapter is begun. Further, what tattvamasi ityataha vakyariti shesha. So tattvamasyaadehe, meaning what? Tattvamasyadi vakyat. Vakya should be added. Tattvamasyadi is a vakya. So vakyariti shesha, to understand that, those who do not know tattvamasyaadehe, so here vakya has to be added to complete the sentence. Tat prakriya. What is tat prakriya? There is no maybe shloka. So he's gone to the shloka already. I have not marked it. So let's go to the shloka proper. Shravito vetti vakyartham na chetattvamasityatah tvam padartha anabhijñatvad atastat prakriyochyate. So shravitah vetti vakyartham na chet tattvamasityatah tattvamasi iti अतः त्वं पदार्थ अनभिज्ञत्वात् अतः तत्प्रक्रिया उच्यते पदच्छेद. So tat prakriya uchyate. Methodology is being explained, will be explained here. What is this now here? Vetti, knows. Shravitaha, shravita here is nijanta prayoga. Shravita, one who has been taught. You can say taught. Why? Because Shravita means one who has been made to hear. Made to hear. So, made to hear means what? Made to listen to the Guru. So, Tattvamasyadi Vakyartha, he has been made to hear means taught. So, one who is taught Vakyartha, oh, Tat Tvamasi means you are Ishvara. And he has been taught with some, Prakriya has been taught as per the Upanishad. 9 times Shvetaketu was taught using different examples, how it is possible. Some aspects are taken away of misunderstanding, and finally the clarity is complete. So Shravito Vetti, definitely Vakyartham Shravita sa Vetti, Vakyartham Vetti Shravita. Na chet, if he does not understand, Tattvamasi ityataha Vakyat here, that is it. Tattvamasi ityatha Vakyariti shesha. Tattvamasi, not Tattvamasyade here from the shloka. I connected it to Tattvamasyade, but here Tattvamasi ityatha, here the words which are there, Tattvamasi ityatha Vakyariti shesha. So Vakyat, Vakyartham Shravita Vetti. Na vetti chet. Na chet means na vetti chet. If he has been told the meaning, he understands. Anyone who has been told the meaning should understand. Vetti here is should understand. Possibility here. Vetti does not understand. If he does not understand, then what? Tvam padartha. See, why? Not tat, not asi. Tvam padartha anabhijñatvat. This is the cause. This is the answer to Puja Swamiji's question also, really. Tvam padartha anabhijñatvat. Because he does not know what is the meaning of Tvam. That is why there is a question. If you know Tvam as Shuddha Atma, if someone tells you are Brahma who is Shuddha Atma, what is the problem in? There is nothing to not understand. Where is the opposition? Because no. How can I be? How can I be? When someone tells you what you are, the issue is with you yourself only. No, I am not like that. Whether it's for good or bad. Oh, you are also like him. No, I am not like that. Because you know yourself as some kind of entity. So here, Tvam Padartha Anabhijñatvad, because you do not know the meaning of Tvam. It is not that you with the body, mind, sense complex, Purusha, Stri, Varnashrama one, who is being told as a Brahma, who is being taught as Brahma. With the Sharira of Kosha, you cannot be Brahma. Shruti cannot make such statements at all. Shruti is talking about that real you, Pratyagatma. You have misunderstood yourself. It is not a problem of Shruti. But Shruti wants you to come out of that misunderstanding and know your real Swarupa, which is Muktikaraka. So, Tvam Padartha Anabhignatvad na che Tattvamasi ityataha Vakyartham Shravito Vetti na Vetti chet. What is hetu? Tvam Padartha Anabhignatvad na Vetti chet ataha Tat Prakriya Uchyate. Tat Prakriya means what? Tvam Padartha Jnana Prakriya ityartha. To understand Tvam Padartha, the entire Prakriya, once you, the entire Shastra, if you see, it is exhausted by telling you what you are. Why? Because every Darshana has an issue with Tvam Padartha only. Main Darshana, see, when they, why do they talk about the Ishvara discussion there? Because that is one aspect in Darshana. Because questions are what should every darshana, we have seen this, what should darshana answer? Each and every philosophy should answer, who am I? What is this prapancha? Second question. Third, who created this? Who created me? Not my mother and father, that me. Who am I? That me. What is my relation? Fourth, that is a passing by question or a corollary. Fourth question would be what? What is the sambandha between me and the prapancha? What is the sambandha between me and Ishvara? What is the sambandha between Ishvara and prapancha? So such 5-6 questions are to be answered. Primarily 5, but then there are 3 things which should be discussed. I, what I see, meaning Asmat Pratyaya, Yushmat Pratyaya, and the creator. These 3 questions. And then Sambandha between them is obvious anyway. When you talk about them, Sambandha will also be clear. So 3 aspects are to be discussed in the any philosophy, in the Darshana. Therefore, Ishvara is discussed. Some focus not on Ishvara at all. They are not focusing on Ishvara. They are focusing on how this Prapancha. While focusing on the Prapancha, because it is huge. Prapancha is huge. Whatever little we know, it is still tending to infinity, and you have to understand that. So Darshanikas, Tarkikas are focused about that. Each and every Padartha. Sankhyas are focused on that. And then Mukti Prakriya. How can I reach supreme happiness, Nitya Sukha? These are all questions which have to be dealt with. Here, the Tvam Padartha Anabhignatva, that is the hetu. Therefore, Ataha Prakriya, Tat Prakriya Uchyate. Tvam Padartha Prakriya Uchyate. Why? He is clearly said. Why? Because that is the basis for Vakyartha not taking place. You don't understand Tattvamasi because Tvam is the problem. He is very clear with that. He has made that opening statement. So there is no question of why he is not talking about Ishvara. Because Ishvara is not the issue. The issue is Jiva. Issue is Jiva. Ishvara is what he is. That's it. Jiva, although he is what he is, he thinks that he is someone else. Ishvara does not have that problem. Shastra does not have an issue. Shastra has revealed Ishvara. If some darshana misinterprets it, all that should be done. But here for the Jiva need not be told really as to, this prapancha, whether the karana is pradhana or not. He has been already told. In the Upanishad, he has been told that Ishvara has created this prapancha. He has no doubts. To that entity, if he hears Tattvamasi, where will he hear Tattvamasi Mahavakya? Mahavakya is not heard in Sankhya Shastra or in Tarka Shastra or in Karma Kanda. It is heard in Upanishad. So in Vedanta, when somebody has heard Tattvamasi, to hear Tattvamasi, he has a lot of background. He has come through the entire story of Ishvara, already Tattvada being discussed. Then that Tat has come up. He has to Tattvamasi. Only after hearing the noun, the pronoun has come up. So he has no question with the noun. Where is the question now? Tvam is you. So when he is told you are that to Ishvara, he has heard the story, and finally in the story he said that you are this. Where is the problem? Tvam is the problem. So he says Tvam Padartha Anabhignatvad Ataha Tat Prakriya Uchyate. We'll look at more. We'll finish this Tat Prakriya. Tattvamasi Ityata Vakya Riti Shesha. Tat Prakriya is what? Tasya Tvam Padarthasya Pratipadana Prakriya iti yavat. The Prakriya for Tvam Padartha Jnana to take place. If the Tvam Padartha Jnana takes place properly, Tattvamasi Vakya will do its karya. There is no doubt. At least Bhagavan Sureshwaracharya is very clear. There is no doubt. See, if Tvam is known, Shuddha Chaitanya, that's why I have no allergy with yogis. There are many Vedantis who have allergy with yogis. No, no, Samadhi is moksha. Samadhi is not moksha, but Samadhi will give you Tvam Padartha Anubhava. To that Samadhistha who comes out of Samadhi, he has no doubt with Tvam Padartha that we are struggling with Tvam Padartha. He has no doubts. If we say that, oh, all the Samadhi is bogus and all that, we say Samadhi will not give moksha. Samadhi will not give moksha is okay. But why do you have allergy with Tvam Padarthas? If you have Pratyaksha, if Tvam Padartha Pratyaksha Sakshatkara takes place, Tvam Padartha level also, then that is the problem here. Tvam Padartha Anabhijnana is not letting Vakyartha take place. We have no Vakyartha Jnana and we say Samadhi will not give moksha. Okay, you put two together. We are not saying give up Vedanta Shravana. Vedanta Mahavakya Shravana with Tvam Padartha in Samadhi will give you moksha immediately. What is the allergy there? So it is all I find it very foolish that you say that when someone talks about Samadhi, so much of allergy. No, 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 no. That is all yoga. Yoga is not separated from Upanishad. Yoga is part of Upanishad. Okay, you don't want to go to Samadhi, you'll say, why do you say, he is not talking about that at all. We set aside yoga darshana. But yoga which leads to Samadhi is not an issue. You are also saying the same thing that go away from cognitively take away Sharira, Koshas, etc. He is also doing the same thing. He is also doing the same thing. What is the problem there? I don't understand this at all. So there is some, Vedanta has to be separate. Nothing like that. Vedanta is separate. It cannot be mixed up because finally it will say you are none of these. And what you remain is Shuddha Chaitanya. The issue is with Mahavakya not being understood because Tvapada is not understood. So your focus has to be clearly on Tvapada Artha. And primarily that is why the second chapter is begun. We'll look at more in the next part. यत् साक्षात् सच्चिदानंदं प्रत्यगद्वयमक्रियं तन्नमामि नृस्य योगी गम्यं परम पदम. नमस्ते. धन्यवाद.
धन्यवादः.